Honestly, though, I play pretty good when I haven't slept and I'm sweating a lot. You know, like,
that's the sweet spot.
Like, that's not the sweet spot. It's not.
Welcome back to Show Me Yours podcast. I'm Jackie Aikner.
I'm Jonny DeVito.
That was a quickie. That was a
Right,
little.
I know. I like to switch it up.
All right, yeah. All right. Okay.
Who do we got in the studio?
We have in the studio today the man on the ones and twos, the demon skins themselves, Mr. Conor Smith.
Let's go.
Fomites.
That's me.
Hell yeah.
I was wondering if I was going to have to sit here for a long time, but I'm right in it.
Yeah.
All right, I like
We
it.
just do a
We just do a
half hour.
segment, yeah. Like, we'll bring you in eventually.
I've seen it before. There's podcasts where if you listen to like a Tuesdays with Stories situation, they'll get hate mail if they don't do like a half an hour before bringing a guest on.
Oh,
So
wow.
they'll have a friend of theirs like
Just sitting there?
Yeah, for like a half an hour, and it makes it like it's awkward to listen to. But you know what I mean. I'm not the kind of guy who would write in and complain to a show. But if you want to do that and become an enemy,
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
We're
If
looking
you'd
for
rather-
anybody to comment at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, any feedback whatsoever is welcome.
It's all about engagement.
Exactly.
Exactly.
right? And
Yeah.
no news is bad press. And I think in a world like today, like if we adopted like a 50-cent kind of business model where every time that you're gonna like release something, you call somebody an asshole publicly before, and it kind of gets people talking. You know what I mean? Like it's
I thought you were gonna say get shot. And
I was
like,
going to say, I was like,
yeah.
it's like a get rich or die.
Get-
ultimatum. That's
Gets
the
people
risk.
shot. Yeah.
I think that if you follow 50 Cent's career, he's advanced much further since 9 bullet wounds. Now he's doing like he's living in Houston and going to like these high-priced wine auctions and shit like that.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
he's
he
got
is.
a
Oh,
phone.
yeah,
Fortunes worth
he's-
of Bitcoin and on flash drives and shit.
What did he?
Yeah. He's
What
a
did he
wealthy
do?
man.
Didn't he buy? Who does he have beef with? Ludacris?
Does
Or
he?
is it-
I think. Well, he's got a lot of beefs. with a lot
Yeah,
of people,
yeah.
but
That was some
Or was it
story where
DMX
he
at some
bought, He
point?
bought like all the tickets for.
He
his
bought all the
show.
Oh, that's
tickets,
Ja
yeah.
Rule.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ja Rule.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it was.
Famously, what the song
Yeah.
"Wanksta" is about.
What a fucking power move.
We're gonna go
Mid
back
2000s rap beefs, y'all.
Love
This is
it.
my
Yeah.
area of expertise.
Yeah, oh, dude,
Yeah, jump in at any time. Yeah.
Oh man,
I'm on this.
Johnny and I did a
Hold on.
show the other night, and Prevail from Swole Members was just there, like he's around Vancouver or
dude.
something like that. But like Johnny was like, "Oh man, oh man, oh man."
Just like a fucking
Yeah.
child, and I was like thinking about it. And I even said it on stage. Like I remember when I was 13 years old, they did a festival here called Snow Jam, where
I've been to a snow
Fuck
jam.
yeah,
hell
dude.
The Snow Jam fucking ruled, right? So they had the massive stage set up, and this guy's, rips his shirt off and he climbs up to the top of the like the stage. What do you call those the metal fucking like
Just
things
the
that they put
scaffolding
together?
stuff?
Scaffolding.
Yeah, they put all the lights and shit off of. This dude's climbing up there and hanging with one arm and like freestyling to like the entire crowd is losing their fucking mind. And I told him that that's like one of the best performances that I've ever seen live. Now watch me rip a 10-minute set in a bar show. I'm gonna blow your mind. And I didn't.
And I even gave him that because I went before you, and I was like, "Dude, listen, there's gonna be a lot of white guys on this show that are gonna come up and just suck your dick essentially." And I was like, "What is following me right after this?"
I asked him, like, do you realize how much like underage sex and drug use has been done to your music?
I mean, yeah. I think there's some video or something where he's wearing a sweater with pushed up sleeves and like snowboarding gloves that every 7th grader in my junior high like, emulated to shit like it was their own idea.
That's a fire look.
Yeah, it's a great look.
Swept the school.
Not the most comfortable look.
I mean, all you could ever really hope for is to just capture the imagination of small town Canadian kids. You know what I mean? For them to
That's all we can.
Oh
hope
my god,
for.
it felt so accessible.
Yeah, that is quite literally all we can hope for.
That's the key to it.
I want to
right?
be on the Much Music Video Awards one day.
But I just had an ad on my Facebook. And it was like, "Want to open for Mad Child?" And it was like, and I was like, "How can we do this?" Where it's like, "Oh, like, how's your raps?" Like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna tell dick jokes for 10 minutes."
I can make them rhyme sometimes by accident.
Yeah.
If you
Under
give me a
pressure.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, for really bombing, that would be awesome to like reach into like a Dr. Seuss kind of bag of tricks.
Just start rhyming everything.
Yeah, dude. Like if your drums fall over, like I think that's the thing. Like if you're trying to set yourself apart, which the Fomites, any listener that has listened will remember Jesse Death from the Fomites episode. If you haven't checked the band out, fucking do. One of my favorite in the upcoming thing, and I think because you've captured the imagination. You know what I mean? The band rips, right? But it's the you know what I mean, like the entire package around it, right? So if anybody is somebody that could be an emulatable person, it's kind of you guys.
Oh, well, thanks. That's nice. We are trendsetters. We're on the cutting edge.
Yeah,
Dude, there's going to be kids in grade 7 and Ghoulface is going to fucking sweep that school.
Guys, you're the first guys that have ever done any horror kind of punk rock stuff. You're the first ones to do it.
Yeah.
We're on the vanguard. That's what I was trying to come up with.
Trailblazers.
Absolutely. Ripping off 90s punk rock. Well, thanks, man. Yeah.
No, but I don't know. Like that's the kind of stuff. Like even like the band that you brought in today, we're going to talk about Reaganomics. Like fantastic. Don't take yourself too seriously. Punk rock.
They have songs that the exact that's their whole they hate fucking that shit. The smug punks, the whole thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man. I've never taken myself too seriously, and I have people around me too. JD's and me have been friends since like 10th grade or whatever.
Yeah.
So no one is better at telling you you're being a fucking dick.
That is very true.
Just know how to cut deep immediately.
He likes to remind me that I used to be on my high punk horse.
Oh, dude. Well, like that's the worst. Like the best and worst part. I think like the aging. Actually, there's a fucking Reaganomics album as well. Is like there's aging punks or whatever. Like you could see. There's such a need to like hold on to your own thing and like the NoFX, like it's my job to keep punk rock elite kind of attitude, and then like you kind of look back on it like later because now it's a lot more like I don't know, like in our 30s and shit. I think it's a lot more hugs and high fives at shows than like gatekeeping.
Yeah, there's a lot less posturing when everyone's pretty sore and tired.
When everyone just has a natural hunch.
Oh, dude.
When we all accept that we have to get up for work.
I came into like the first kind of like run of shows like kind of like a couple months ago or whatever, and kind of trying to gauge like the night that we don't have comedy or whatever that we could go see music and stuff. And I just got like so excited and stand like next to the stage, blacked out, just like ruined my ears until like today. Still kind of popping and stuff like that. And then like trying to gauge now is like, okay, how close can I stand to the stage? Where are those free earplugs in the fucking place? You know what I mean?
Yeah. All my vests now have a pocket full of earplugs. Just so like I don't fuck up and like.
For me, it's the head banging. I'll get so into it, and then the next morning I'm like, oh my god, I might be paralyzed. Yeah.
What if we
just turning like Batman?
Yeah. You got to do it, but like I mean, so if you're like at a show, whatever you're gonna rock, whatever, you're also preparing to like run a marathon, right? Like how long have you been like drumming and like what was the when did you decide to do it like lightning fast is the only way?
I started drumming in grade 7 because of a punk kid named Tyler Fawcett. Giving him some credit. I don't know him anymore. He could suck.
If he's a plumber,
Yeah.
Tyler Fawcett is the fucking best plumber name.
That's
Like,
a
It's
great
a good
name,
plumber
yeah.
name.
He was a good artist from what I remember.
T-Foss.
His older brother was in a Christian punk band, and we used to go to the church to watch them play because they also had a skateboard thing there.
Hell yeah.
But you had to listen to a guy read Bible stuff, but then you got
Oh,
the skateboard.
dude.
Hey.
Who doesn't love a small town Bible trade?
Yeah.
Yo, man, that flat bar's pretty fucking sick.
We have a
That's
kicker.
totally
We have-
fair.
Dude, there's a mini ramp. Like, all right, whatever. I gotta listen to this fucker. Like, dude, totally.
Was it a whole service or just a passage?
Just kind of like casually, like, hey guys, while we're all here, let's just here's a couple things that Jesus said about that.
Oh, whoa.
Dude, they
at
would
this
bribe
real
us
quick.
so hard. They would bribe us so hard. They'd be like, they used to have like dusk till dawn nights where it was like basically a huge sleepover at the fucking church. It'd be like, you get like egg McMuffins in the morning. It was like, oh, there's basketball, there's a gym, like there's this whole fucking rad shit. And then it was like, oh, you got to sit. Oh, okay.
What
Because
is
there was
this
like
fun church? Like, what kind of denomination of like?
This was a
Christian
Baptist
is
church,
this? A
actually.
Baptist
Yeah,
church?
Oh,
yeah.
I never bothered to learn what the flavor
Yeah.
of this one was.
Yeah.
Just let her skate the ramps. Because like my like I was raised around like Roman Catholics, and like there's no fun involved in that. There's
Not
No
those
fun
guys.
and
No.
games.
It's just guilt.
Yeah.
Just killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kneeling isn't fun.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, actually, like the family's so big, so like we either like to get the whole function together on like New Year's Day is a big like kind of ravioli festival. All the women in the family would you know what I mean, make just hundreds and hundreds of raviolis, and the only space that could house us in the town that we were living in was either the church or like St. Michael's Catholic school. And we would always hope for the Catholic school because we'd at least get a basketball hoop and it'd be kind of fun or whatever. But if not, then we're hanging out with the priest. And like, that's kind of weird because I also skateboard like in the town and stuff like that. He could blow my spot up. Told some stories on here. You know what I mean? About that kind of catching me, you catching red-handed, somebody red-mouthed on my penis. It was weird, you know what I mean? He's like, you're supposed to be in here sucking my dick, Johnny. Anyway, it's an old story.
You said you didn't know what that was.
Exactly. Yeah, but then you're there, you know what I mean, for like a family function, and you know that like he could like tear the whole he could tear the roof off of this. Absolutely.
Boy, I bet you that's never been wielded sinisterly.
Never gone to anyone's head.
Yeah. Never.
Oh man! See, if I hung around a little bit longer, like if that's like the slow play or whatever, he's like, I got DeVito for sure. Maybe in the next like 6 months or a year or whatever, that's gonna lock down.
Filing cabinet full of secrets.
Yeah. Like he's got a bracket system like March Madness of all the kids.
I got you, DeVito.
Hard to pick that perfect bracket, man.
It's important. You know?
It's a big upset in the third round.
Absolutely. Hey, well, you know what? Like, it just makes it more interesting. You know what I mean? If you put a little bit of money on the line.
You got to pay these kids.
Absolutely. But guys, in the sense of ghouls and ghosts, I've been thinking about this question. I want to throw it out to everybody. If in a situation where the headless horseman kind of ghost situation, right, where a head can be decapitated, and the head can kind of tell the body, you know, where to find it. Okay, do we know about this? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if that is the case, do you think that there's like a Civil War veteran ghost that had his dick shot off, and could it be found? Do you think that the ghost dick would be findable, and would it still be in the field? Like if you're being completely decapitated or losing limbs, is that yes? Like how does like a ghost?
I guarantee you we could find a tour of like some weird old lady taking you on a horny ghost tour where it's like, this is the most erotic ghost in New Orleans.
She's just still waiting for it. She's just buzzing.
Exists.
Dude,
erotic ghost tour.
Horny old lady.
If it doesn't exist, it should.
I've taken murder mystery tours to Seattle and stuff like that, and they're awesome, man. They're a lot of fun.
There's definitely an after dark version of that.
Dude,
know?
there's
for
a
sure.
Civil War veteran that got his dick blown off by a lead bullet or whatever.
All I know is that
searching for his tip.
if that dick is gonna tell the body where to find it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You got to go with a different fruit or a different thing other than a pumpkin. You can't go. You got to go with the eggplant on top of the body to find the dick.
Right.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Like a jack-o'-lantern sort of situation, but it's an eggplant because you're looking for this penis.
How embarrassing would that be if you came across a headless horseman, Sleepy Hollow situation, and you just got the eggplant, and you're like, no, I don't care about the head. I'm just looking for my dick, and then I can rest.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen it?
Yeah. Has anybody seen my dick?
It's huge, I swear.
You can't miss it. Yeah.
I mean, it probably just
that tiny one's not mine.
Yeah. No, that's definitely not it. It's a different one
dicks?
for sure.
For sure, a different dick. It's a different dick.
Quickly,
It's cold. though.
like when no one's looking, you just pocket it. Yeah.
Like its immunity idol. I see what you did
like
there.
it's an immunity idol. Sick reference.
Sick reference.
Oh man! Always bring it back to Survivor. Connor, are you a fan of the greatest show on television?
Survivor? No, I don't hate it. I just don't really watch it. I watch some of it, like everyone who has to exist on this planet. That's part of the tax, I think, is you watch a season or two of Survivor.
Yeah.
You've breathed our air, you'll watch our Survivor.
Yeah.
But, it's good. I heard it's gotten better, and like more importantly, I feel like people have learned how to play it. Right? Isn't that
Oh,
the big
yeah.
thing?
Absolutely.
People
It's
sort of cracked
Oh
it.
man, you were saying all the right things right now.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Jackie was like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah. It's the greatest show on television. They don't give them food anymore.
No,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that's all right. It's just,
But yeah, everyone's like a super fan now, and they keep like they put in all these new twists and turns, so you can never quite master the game. You're always kind of thrown off kilter. Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
Jeff Probst is the greatest.
We have a
host on
very like
television.
March Madness thing going on right now where we have bets
Yeah, we do
going
have
on.
we do have a draft.
We've bet on scripted reality TV.
yeah. Johnny's down to one player.
I mean, Conor, like I felt
wow.
like I could pick my team like perfectly, right? So I tried to pick like a physical powerhouse, right? This big dude. He comes into the first challenge. You know, just full of piss and vinegar, you know what I mean? Like moving at 100%, right? Never giving up, and that's exactly what I want in a player.
That's why you picked him.
And there is a
living,
situation, it's an
playing,
obstacle course where he's got to go over and then under something, and he's going underneath like a wooden beam, maybe like a 4x4. And he's about 6'3", 200 some odd pounds, and he just dives head first underneath this thing, and his head just cracks the fucking dude.
Yeah. Just like a huge gash out of his head.
He's
it was
fucking leaking
insane.
blood, like just
Like-
dripping. And this is like the first 5 minutes of the show, right? So now like we got money. We got
First 5
money.
minutes.
Literally the opening scene
Yeah.
of Survivor season
All the
44.
producers
Yeah.
are just like, yes!
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. I'm losing my fucking mind, right? Because at some point somebody's got to call shenanigans. This is not how you want to start your Survivor season, right?
Yeah.
In his credit, he never asked the competition to stop, never asked to be taken out of the game, but both had to stop because, I mean, at some point the guy's just falling over because he's
He
massively concussed.
fainted because he lost so much blood. Yeah.
Not only that, they're in like Fiji, and like the thing that he still crawled under this thing as he was like bleeding on his head was just full of like mud.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
like bacteria mud in like this hot Fijian sun. And he's just rubbing it in this open wound.
Yeah.
Beaches are famously sterile.
Yeah.
For real, dude.
And it's like they film like everything's so high definition now, and they're going
guess, eh?
slow mo and so close up, so you're seeing the blood like
it,
come out.
it was like neon.
Yeah, it's alarming.
Which you just like, wait, I mean, like Eddie, you would wish to be a competitor to that kind of magnitude. So every morning we light a candle at the altar of Bruce.
Yeah.
Shout out Bruce,
Shout out
season
to
44.
Bruce.
We're hoping to see him next season. It's very exciting. But if a Vancouver punk rock Survivor edition happened, who do you think makes it out alive?
Geez. I mean, I'm gonna bet on myself. I think I would. I'm cunning. I'm pretty agile.
I mean, I'm trying to put you against a lot of people. Yeah, like who?
I was
I'll
gonna
do
say, I
it.
feel like you would
I'll
excel
do
at
it.
Survivor. Yeah,
I'm
like
unbeatable.
yeah.
Come at me. I'll do it right now.
like
I'll eat whatever too. I don't care. I don't care.
You're just a
Yeah,
fear
you
factor
really
now. What
hate me
happened?
yeah.
I'll be done. Jeez.
You don't have to eat that. Oh, good.
Yeah, you'd be one of those people who gets to the beach the first day and starts eating like
Just
fucking
maggots
maggots.
and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also unbreakable and kind of. I am also very probable to hit my head on something.
Really relate to that, Bruce.
Bit of a
guy.
wild card, yeah.
I've come out of a few things strong in my life to fall on my face very quickly. So, you know. But actually, I mean, not to just keep saying people in my band, but Dom is powerful. I don't know
Hell
if
yeah.
you've ever seen him lift things, but it's frightening.
He's
Oh, I haven't.
Strength. He's like drywall power. So,
Wow.
Oh,
so
okay,
if there's
yeah.
any sort of long endurance game, and he sits for tattoos longer than anyone I've ever known. So he's got that mental fortitude.
Yeah.
Endurance. Those endurance challenges are pretty tough.
But
yeah.
Schaefer's like a mastermind.
Oh, puzzle guy.
I could see, I could see him kind of running the
some shit,
game.
never getting his hands dirty and getting all the prizes and immunity
Yeah.
idols and some pizzas and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
This is now we need to make
need to
something
make
like
this
this
happen.
happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm already invested. I'm like,
There was a
what
punk
time
rock
is this
bowling
on?
thing like years ago or whatever, but that was only one night. It was a lot of fun. You know what I mean? A bunch of bands were there and stuff like that. I got to bowl. That should be like, you know what I how do you think you could break down like a Survivor game into something like doable over the course of a couple weekends?
I mean,
We're coming up with this live. This might be
yeah.
huge.
So we're gonna need a team to construct the challenges.
There's those rentable amusements and stuff, so you could get like Velcro suits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Obstacle courses
Yep,
and stuff.
yep. That'd be good.
And if you
that'd
do
be
it
good.
where there's like a pond in the park, you got a water obstacle.
There you go. Yeah.
Trail Lake's looking mighty good right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Swim out to that. Don't puke.
Yeah. Don't get infected with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you win.
Collect the most needles.
I feel like this is a great idea.
I think it kicks ass. I just don't think there's any body of water within the city that you can actually swim in. in? Like
There's the ocean. If you,
Who can
You
noodle
gotta go, like,
for the
third
most
beach, though.
needles?
yeah.
Noodling for needles. That's totally what it
made
be.
them real Vancouver and gross. Or
I
whatever.
remember
Who can
those-
bag up the most grams before
Those like when Survivor was in its like original heyday, those Survivor challenges were like a big thing that people would do. Like in Duncan Days, we have like these this like festival during the summer or whatever, and they would do like a fucking Survivor challenge, like, oh, like what logo is this for or whatever, and they constructed shit like in the city of
Jackie
Duncan.
Agnew, champion from 2011.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Yeah.
where's
I
the
did not
hardware?
participate. I was a child.
I know the people that do the games for Survivor set them up at things like they'll always be at like Comic-Con and they'll have a game set up for like you to go do
Oh no!
Oh,
shit.
from the
cool.
actual minds of the Survivor people.
Oh wow.
dude,
Okay. Well, now we're going to Comic-Con. Yeah.
I've been asking for years. She's not a superhero fan at all.
There you go. You might,
Here we go.
Just beeline
I-
it for the
Worlds
Survivor.
are gonna
game.
collide.
just laughing and stuff like, damn, you've gone 19 times today. Personal best, baby. I'm gonna get that blue flag over to that red barrel. And
To be fair, because the lineup to
tie
beat
a
Bruce
big
Campbell is
knot.
pretty long, so she's gonna have a lot of time to kill and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
That's
so.
true. They
yeah.
also, what they do on Survivor when they construct the challenges, they have a dream team. So it's like a group of people
oh man,
that work for Survivor just to run the challenges as though they're contestants.
For a second, I was like, why is Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
and Magic Johnson building these things?
Yeah,
Is that John Stockton?
I want to see like a show about making that team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we got an opening, and then they bring back a bunch of the best people to ever play the game to just run the games to get a spot on the Dream Team's team.
Yeah, I think it's like it's like a PA position. Like
Oh,
it's like
shit,
an
no doubt,
agent.
Ed. Just like, give me a coffee and climb to the top of that.
But then they
That
put like
sucks.
it's funny because we were listening. Jeff has a podcast now, and so we were listening to this episode when we got in this car accident a couple days ago. So I was
Just a quick side note.
yeah.
That's why I'm bleeding.
Don't worry, we're gonna brush past this.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. You want to ride? You want that ride home, right?
Yeah. And but then he was talking about how they put like stakes on the line for the dream team so that they run it as though like they get as though, you know, there's something on the line, like they're the contestants or whatever.
Jeff's just
So
got a
they,
gun to their kid's head. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
like make it worth it. How
Bunch
do
of
you
like millionaire producers at this point making the peons run it.
Yeah, I think they said the award is like you get to sleep in an hour later or whatever.
Oh my god.
Just
Who
fucking
wants
run
a
it.
90-minute lunch on Wednesdays?
Yeah, now
I was
fucking
picturing
go.
it like way more like corrupt kind of thing. Like it was like people betting on Muay Thai boxing or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
If there's some weird disparate part of the world as well, the things they can offer them get more sinister and dark.
Of course, man. The further you are away, don't think that Survivor is not immune to corruption. Like
Oh
there
my
has to be
God.
something going on
Yeah.
behind the scenes. There is standard and practice for the show because there's no way this show's going 44 seasons, you know, without looking, you know, like peachy clean on the surface. But we all know the longer something gets, the more time it has to be corrupted. Right? So like let's get
Yeah,
serious.
I
There's
think
gonna be
it's-
some
two-faced
weird
situation.
like expose about like a secret 15th contestant that was killed on the 12th season.
Yeah.
It's surprising. It's surprising
We
that no
found
one
the
died.
Survivor conspiracy.
Yeah.
This would be awesome.
They
They
have
edited it out correctly, and you see him for one frame.
they were saying on the podcast that there's been like something like 66 like babies born out of people who like met through Survivor. So it is like a little cultish.
Are they allowed to leave the island, or are they
Yeah.
all still?
Survivor.
Yeah, right. That is going to be a season down the line, I'm sure, as babies of Survivor come on and they're
Baby
contestants.
Survivor. They should just put them on now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kids crawling around the sand.
little toddler challenges would be like I don't know. I'm not gonna.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how they build a shelter at
talk
camp.
a lot of
Things would
shit
get a
on the
little
show.
hairy. Yeah.
It'd be very big shelters, though, right? Like,
Well, like
Yeah.
well, that's the good thing about. I mean, yeah, you could use like the same like area probably for 2 seasons in a row, so everything would still kind of be set up because like they're not going to use up all the firewood, they're not going to use up all the resources that I think. Like I wonder like what the,
You can feed a
what the
baby a
landscape-
lot less than you think.
That's
yeah. Yeah.
The greatest
It's
fucking
like
thing ever.
6 grains of rice.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to go.
I'd never even thought about that. Is that, like, I mean, in my head, they wouldn't even really need to eat.
No,
I
No.
mean, if it's not your
How
responsibility.
long's the show gonna go? They're
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah.
They're gonna be bad at most things.
You could probably bang the whole.
That'd be great to have one dominating baby.
Yeah, just like a
Snorkeling, just
challenge
catching
beast.
fish.
Yeah, catching fish. Yeah, with
That
the
kid's fucking
line
7 years
sling.
old. Everybody's like that. Like somebody that's
Yeah.
Like a World Series style scandal.
Yeah. He's just got a mustache and shit. Like,
22 years old.
Yeah.
Fucking Boston Rob's kid.
oh, man. I've never been. Have you guys ever been involved in a scandal? Some kind of cheating? Like, has something ever been
Scandal.
snatched away from you because somebody broke the rules?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure I've been the victim of some injustice. Let me think.
Let me think here.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
What's been snatched
Yeah,
away from me?
what has happened to you?
Well, it's
Well, great question. Glad you asked.
It's a basketball situation.
Question, yeah.
That was the thing, is that I was fouled out of a game kind of before I should have, and I felt like we
That's
were
a
being coached.
scandal you were involved
This
in?
was. And I was kind of thinking about that like I was getting like chirped from the bench from this kid from Nelson, and his name was Joey DeVito.
Joey
Spelled
DeVito,
D-
Joey D.
Oh my God, this is a real Springfield,
This is-
Shelbyville
Yeah.
situation.
Like 100%. He wasn't even as cool as me, and he fucking knew it, man. I had like friend. I was charismatic young kid, and he fucking had it out for me and shit. And when we got into the locker room, there was like a brief exchange, and you know what I mean. I remember being thrown out of the game, rightfully so, right? Because you shouldn't be thrown in. But I just knew that because I was out of town or whatever, I was being picked on for this reason. And then luckily in a basketball scenario, like it was kind of like a Rudy situation, right? Maybe not Rudy exactly, but you know,
It was inspirational.
it was
sounds
definitely
like.
inspirational because we went in. My team ended up taking it into overtime, and I got to come back. Technical fouls don't necessarily matter or whatever, so I got to come back. We actually ended up like winning the game,
Got your
and
Disney moment.
it
Wow.
was
yeah.
a moment where like I thought that everything had been taken away from me, and then it was like it happened so quick that right back like there was justice in the world again. You know what I mean? And I realized that a lot of
Okay.
people on this earth don't have that kind of story. So I just wanted to bring a little bit of positivity and hope.
I'm so glad that it went full circle for you, Johnny.
I really
Yeah,
did. I really did.
wow, that's
Because honestly, like
amazing.
I was making a lot of bad decisions at that time, and I probably could have used a karmatic slap in the face.
Yeah.
on that day.
Honestly, I should have. It set me back personally a lot.
Yeah.
Like I was just like kind of like I was just cheered for the bad guy or whatever, and I think that it took me like a long time. When we started doing comedy, I was just like telling like remember when stories that used to be so funny, and a lot of people are like, "That's awful."
That's
like,
terrible.
yeah, you were the bad guy in so many of your stories.
Yeah. That's kind of why I'm not coming up with a big injustice, because I'm like, man, no, that was my fault.
That was just. That
You
was just.
You shouldn't have done that. You were drunk as fuck at the time.
All this is pretty deserving, actually. Yeah.
What was the mischief scene like in Fort McMurray in the early days?
Oh fuck, man! Like, there's a ton of money. Everyone has a ton of money, but all the parents are working insane hours. So there's lots of
nobody's
money
home.
and nobody
Yeah.
around.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I never even
wrap.
thought about what that was like, because I've been like working up there. For any of the listeners that don't know, Fort McMurray, Northern Canada, like the oil boom is like where people would, go to make a fucking small fortune. I was making $10,000 a month as like a third-year plumbing apprentice. When I'm like 23 years old, so
It's wild,
If you can
yeah.
imagine like the amount of bad decisions, and why am I in debt?
Yeah.
All that money got spent, but like we would fly up and fly back,
that's
and so like the people that chose to live there always kind of blew my mind, right? Cold as shit.
Fucking terrible place. It's a god awful cesspit.
Yeah, like you talk about depleting resources and fucking like never mind a survivor camp. This is
But I'd like to invite all the lovely people of Fort McMurray to come to our Edmonton show when we tour in May. Yeah, I'd love you guys to
Yes.
come see
Yeah.
Hometown Boy.
Yeah.
the hometown hero, the kid done good.
Prodigal son has returned.
6 hours away.
Oh, buddy, it's 4.
Oh, it's 4. Oh,
If you drive right,
That's
what are you
fucking-
doing?
Yeah.
They've twinned that bitch. Come on.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to fly in and fly out. I didn't have to drive to
Oh.
Fort McMurray, but like they always flew me out because I couldn't piss clean after something.
What?
Something happened,
The oldest tale ever told in Fort McMurray.
Couldn't
I-
just clean.
Yeah.
When I was in the Fort McMurray airport coming home, there was like 44 guys or something like that somebody had overdosed in my camp. because drug use is definitely it's frowned upon up there, but it's not like it's not happening, right?
Yeah, it's not.
So this dude fucking kicked the bucket, and we were all on the bus on the way into camp, and we just saw ambulances coming and all this stuff, and everybody was like, "Oh fuck, I guess that's it. Dogs are coming through, and everybody's gonna get searched." So, I mean, long story short, mine was like a weed situation. Like I didn't have anything in there, but they swabbed and stuff, and I couldn't piss clean. It was they'll get you if they're gonna get you. But when I was in the hotel drinking with everybody that's mad because we're getting fired and we're kicked out, and I can't go back to CNRL anymore. CNRL's huge. Jerry, come on, they're fucking us here. So when we're all coming back, we're all just drinking our pain away, and then we're all like, what are you in for kind of situation, and it was like steroids and like coke or meth or fucking I think like you could tell the people, everybody said coke, but you could look them in the eyes and know that it was meth, you know what I mean, like those guys. And a lot of weed dudes and stuff, and there was a kid, this poor fucking kid that had dreadlocks. Like he looked like, I went up to him and I'm like, obviously weed, right? And he was like, no, I had a flush kit in my thing just in case I was gonna smoke weed. I could take this.
Wow.
Yeah, he got kicked out for preemptive drug use, which is
Probably
crazy.
got from Herbal Essentials at the Plaza 2 Mall.
Yeah.
Is that for regional specifics? You know the guy
There you
who
go.
ran it? I think he stole a bunch of cowbells from me.
Oh, man, multiple cowbells?
Yeah,
How
I
many
had
cowbells do you have?
I had 5 on a rack. It was a
Sick.
Christmas present from my grandma, bless her heart.
Aw.
She didn't know better than to buy 5 cowbells, but I used them because they were a gift. And,
Aw.
That's-
yeah, I think that fucker stole them.
That's what a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, who's
What is like
stealing
the
cowbells?
what's the the drug culture like for the kids or whatever? Because if you're gonna grow up and like maintain a job up there, is drugs kind of frowned upon, or is it like
Everyone does
like,
drugs.
That's what
man.
I'm saying.
It was all
Like-
the time. I don't know how much I want to incriminate me or my homies. No, I'm just kidding. It was a fucking shit show, dude, all the time. Like I said, my dearly departed homie Cole was 2 houses down. Was the bass player in my early band in high school, and like his basement was a fucking like destruction, man. Like we built a stage, and like we were fucked all the time, and like. He didn't have a door for a long time. He had meat curtains, like for like into a storage thing. We called them meat curtains. All kinds of horrible shenanigans. Yeah, man. Fucking. That's you asked earlier where we learned to play fast. It was that environment.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Playing in a fucked up sort of basement shows and shit. Like
Stimulant
of
basement,
course.
man.
we
That's
go
always-
to the junior A hockey team would let out or whatever, and we'd go there after and round up all these fucking rowdy kids and drag them to Cole's house and like fucking play music for them.
Sick.
Hell yeah.
I passed out when they went to do that because I would drink Everclear because I was a fucking tough fucking 10th grader.
Jesus Christ. I'm hey man, we could have gotten into some trouble, you and me.
And I passed out before they got back behind my drums, and they like fucking shook me awake, and I played probably what will be the worst set I've ever played in my life.
man.
Oh my god.
You can see like when there's nothing more funny than a hardcore band or like a punk rock drummer just fucked out of his mind. Like when shout out to Vice Minded, good friends of mine. They're American Standard and they're all in different bands now or whatever. But good folks from the Bay Area. When they came up here to play a show and kind of like took me back down with them to like Seattle, Bremerton, kind of like all these areas down there. And so for like the next few nights, we're just best buds. And I never get to be in America or whatever, so we're just partying and every place that we got to was like a DIY venue with like places for bands to sleep. So like everybody was just kind of partying together. And if you want to know like I could throw you some like info to Pirate Punks and things like that, like some good people that'll take care of you.
Spot Bibles are good to have.
Hell yeah, dude. So we get to this place called Bremerton, and like the whole rule is I guess you play this city last because they take just like such good care of you, and you just like party out of control. So we go through, I think it was like 3:00 in the afternoon by the time we had to like drive to Olympia to play the last show. And like me and Bill, my buddy, their drummer of this band, just stayed up the whole time, right? So we get in the car, and then I think the show is at like 9 or something. So by the time we get there, we have like 3 hours, and we're all just sleeping in the car. Everybody that's like put on this show is like, oh, we're gonna meet like this band from San Francisco or whatever and shit. So everybody's like, we get out of the car and we'd like known to people from there from the year before, but it was like a super bad introduction to everybody that was there. They're all letting us sleep at the house, and we're all just so fucked up. And then when they asked us like what's going on, we're like, oh, we just drove from Bremerton, and they're like, oh, you always play that last. Because like, everybody knows it's gonna be like that bad. And there's one point Bill looks at me and he's like, hey man, can you play drums for me tonight? And I just looked him dead in the eye and I'm like, you know that I don't know how to play drums. Like, there's no way.
This is so funny because I would be like, Johnny would be like, yes.
There was a part of me that I was
Maybe
like,
I can. Yeah.
because he's like, you always do the thing, and I was
Fuck yeah,
like,
dude, I got this. Yeah.
Like, I could probably, yeah.
I'm like, I could probably get through it if you do like the doodle bap thing. And then like when it came time to be like, can you really get through it? I was like, no, there's no way. I've just been talking shit drunk for like, too long. I'm just afraid to do this. And I got to watch like a very like lightning fast hardcore band play like a 1/3 speed set, and it was awful and so good. It was like the rest of everybody there was kind of like laughing it off, and like everything was totally cool. It was all friends. We went back and partied after and stuff. But for me, it's like watching a comic that's a friend of yours just like have confidence in a new bit, and it's not working.
Yeah.
And they're just so confidently bombing, and you're just like, oh, this is the greatest moment of my life. How many like death like if you had those like you just got to suck it up because you're gonna suck tonight?
Oh man, yeah, probably more than my band likes to have happen. I think honestly though, I play pretty good when I haven't slept and I'm sweating a lot. Like
that's the sweet spot.
Like that's not the sweet spot. It's not. But I think I do better than the average bear in the similar situation.
Yeah.
I've asked before after like a jam or whatever. I'm like, did I do good? And they're like, yeah. I was like, oh fucking, it's kind of like dropped. And they were like, oh, Connor had an evening apparently.
Yeah.
You don't tell him until after this. Yeah, you try to get in there.
I'm sure they're being nice. They can probably see it on my horrified like corpse face.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just fine. I'm totally cool. Normal stuff. And there's like, you just said that out of nowhere.
Don't look at me.
We recorded this. Me and JD used to record stuff, and we recorded this band one time when we were on the backup part. So we had the 3 people who sang in to do backups, and they're doing their oohs and their ahs and shit. And after it, one of them, who's our homie, comes up and he goes, can you tell I'm on Molly right now? Buddy, no! Like,
Nice.
Now that you mention it, though,
Like, the personal space thing kind of clicked it, but I can tell then. Like,
now that you bring it up,
you're
there.
behind glass.
Still trying to touch my arm.
Before you started petting my arm.
That's awesome. Do you still have it in the tank to do it? Because if I'm doing drugs, I feel like I'm just not slick. I can't hide anything. You know what I mean? When you come home, like you just got to be up front and be like, "This is what I did in that bathroom." But you know what I mean? I think like now with the mushrooms being so like common and stuff like that, it'll just be like at a show with comics that are just like lightly
Just
tripping
like
on mushrooms. Yeah, just like in the
That's
past
such a thing now.
noticed it in the past like 6 months or something. Which
It's so wild because it's like complete opposite of what I want to do when I'm on
Exactly,
mushrooms. Like
yeah.
I just don't like. I don't like. I don't use it as like a part. Like I go out and like, oh, I feel more social when I'm like, no.
Not
Like
at all.
if you're not on mushrooms too, I probably don't want to be around you.
Yeah, and I definitely don't
mushrooms
want you
instead
to
of-
know that I'm on
Yeah.
mushrooms.
yeah,
So many people treat it like having like, oh, I got drunk and had a cigarette or two. It's like, oh, I got drunk, grabbed a couple. Like, I'm like, man, that's a decision I need to like kind of make.
Yeah,
No, dude,
exactly.
for
I kind of
real.
have to set the scene.
I have
like,
to punch my
get
ticket
ready
because I know
for
it's
it.
going to be a shift, right?
Yeah.
To be
like,
fair,
that's
I
the
think
biggest
we
thing.
probably have the idea, and I've been talking about this lately on stage, where I'm like, people don't do mushrooms how we used to do mushrooms. Like
Oh,
you
we were
and
texting
3
about
friends
that
would
too.
buy an ounce and then
Yeah.
eat the
Eat
whole ounce.
Yeah.
Just raw, just no
Yeah.
tea, just fucking.
Yeah,
I ate 4
yeah,
grams with a friend of mine because we thought that like we got a half ounce together, so we're gonna split like a quarter each, 7 grams. It's like kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, a little bit larger than the recommended dose at the time when we were like fucking 15 years old. But this guy gave us a bigger bag than we were expecting, so we're like, fuck, if we just eat it all, then we're not gonna be on the hook for it, right?
Yeah,
so
what
let's
are you
just
gonna
get it
do?
in us and fucking.
That was a big thinking too.
Yeah.
Just eat
So
all
then
of
we
it, so
just
there's
ate-
no
we're 15
left.
years old, so you
Yeah.
just eat a half ounce of mushrooms, and like it was a
Swear.
great time.
That's insane.
But like, you know, I think I was a little bit more adventurous as a kid because like right now, like I just know like what I'm biting into, and I work
Yeah.
40 hours a week. And do a lot
Anything
of
over
shows and stuff like that,
5
so I
is
just
like,
know
no
that, like,
way,
my fucking, the one night that I get on the couch or whatever isn't going to be fucking visiting God, you know?
Yeah, microdosing is definitely way more of a thing now. But like even then, like I just don't want to be around people at all.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine, especially at a show. Like if you're performing and shit, like going on stage.
The energy
Oh,
can just be
fuck
so
no.
swinging left and right. You never know how it's gonna
Yeah.
go, right? Like two random people getting to fight next to you when you're high on mushrooms. That's not
Oh.
gonna be fun.
No.
Oh,
You're gonna
man.
be like, "Oh, duh."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking an autistic
You'll just
spasm.
feel everything about that fight.
Yeah,
You know, like the
yeah.
anger
Just
and
be
like all
looking
that
at it
shit.
like,
You sponge at that
oh,
point.
no.
Yeah. Sponge all that shit up. Yeah, not good.
You should just be friends.
Yeah.
Stabbed.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
So then she's getting poked in the media, like we're just trying to bring peace. It fucking sucked. But I remember the day that that I drew the line. I was like, I'm never fucking doing this again. I went to the Rickshaw, which I fucking love. Is one of the greatest venues in Vancouver. But I went there to see Doug Stanhope, which isn't a comedy venue. He's one of the greatest comedians of all time. But like it's a fucking, you know what I mean? It's a Rickshaw event. So you're going there with like. It was like a punk show when you're in the lineup. Like I recognize all these guys from like from other nights here, right? So I'm saying hey to whoever, and my buddy just pulls out like a bag of mushrooms, and I knew that we're like pre-drinking going to a Stanhope show. Not the first person that showed up drunk to a Doug Stanhope show is totally within the realm.
Yeah, he's shit faced.
Of course.
Yeah.
When, like some nights if he's like
Like
if his cocktail mix is perfect, he's the fucking greatest to ever do it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and these mushrooms start to kick in, and you get into the rickshaw, and we're lucky enough to get some seats because they're. But like we should have went to the balcony, which we didn't. We're downstairs, and we're maybe in like the third row. So everybody that's standing there, I can just barely see over their shoulders to the stage. You can just see like the comic's head that comes on, and Mitch Hedberg's wife opens up for Doug, and nobody knows who she is, so they're all just like chatting it up and getting beers, and it was this awful moment where I was like,
And you
this
felt everything for her.
everything, yes. And I
Yeah.
can hear people talking behind me, and my buddy Kyle is the greatest dude in the world, and he's just having fun, right? He just knows that this is what, like, he expected
is
that this
what
was
it
going to be the
is.
thing, and he's not
Yeah.
going to let it affect his night. And he looks over at me with a smile, and I'm like, this is the worst fucking decision I've
Yeah.
ever made. He came on and did like once like Stanhope like controlled the room or whatever, I was like, he like controlled like my like I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I can settle into this now because like we're watching the GOAT here, and
Professional took the reins.
exactly,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like just like walking out of there and then having to deal with everything like at the bar with all the friends afterwards and
yeah.
stuff like that, and you're just like, why did I choose to do 6 hours of drugs?
Yeah, that's the thing
Dude.
is that it goes like for so long. I mean, compared to acid, it's not that long, but like it's still like you're feeling it for
sure.
a while.
Yeah.
And
I
I
think that
fucking
the-
all the shit afterwards to deal with, like leaving a venue and then being around fucking people and shit.
Oh.
Like, ugh.
Awful.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it on Wednesday. I can't wait.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Get after it. That's yeah. What's I'm very excited for like the Red Hot Chili Peppers are coming to town. It's gonna be a massive event. What's the first show that you went to, or like and then maybe like the most exciting that you didn't think you'd get the chance to see?
Okay, the first concert I ever saw in my life was the Bare Naked Ladies in Edmonton.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
sick.
Fuck
Very
yeah.
good.
Yeah, no, you're in good company.
Me and my dad followed them on tour once.
They brought a guy on stage to play drums because he was holding a sign up for a song, and like,
Yeah.
oh, we're not gonna play that, buddy. He's like, I know the drums. Like, you got to prove it. And they brought him on stage and played the
Oh,
drums.
yeah.
It was
That's
crazy.
fucking awesome.
That's sick.
The first punk show I ever saw was Belvedere at the Thickwood Amphitheater.
Oh, you're from that neck of the woods, you lucky son of a bitch. Belvedere fucking rules.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It was for the album from Hell Sent, Former Child or whatever.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
Speaking of drugs, I came home and my dad had a classic punk experience. My dad, are you on drugs? What's going on with you?
Oh, no.
Wasn't. I was just so high on exuberance.
Yeah,
it was wonderful.
Oh,
Yeah. Start a trend, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, well, like, you
The
should like,
energy.
listen, I'm
Fucking
gonna.
show him.
I'm
I'm gonna
getting-
get shit
yeah.
from doing
Get
drugs. I
the
might as well
heat
do
for it.
drugs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
if
thing.
I'm
Yeah, if I'm
getting
gonna get
heat for
accused
it.
of it, then
May as well be
Self-fulfilling
on drugs.
prophecy.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Well, yeah. Most exciting one that I never thought I'd get to see. I'm hoping it's the NoFX Tacoma final thing. We're going to
Oh,
that.
are you going?
Oh,
We're going to that. I've seen
Oh,
NoFX
nice.
a bunch of times, but this has the potential to be the best show I've ever. Oh fuck! You know what? Fucking better answer. Hold on. Sorry. Greatest show I never thought I'd get to go see. 14 years old. It's my birthday. Visiting family in Calgary. Woken up by my mother with tickets to Warp Tour. That's so
Sick.
dropped
Wow.
off by myself with
What?
birthday money in my pocket. Go have fun.
Dude.
Whoa.
Helped a guy finish a bottle of bourbon in the parking lot.
Yes, you did.
Fucking strolled in. Fucking, it was the best. That was, better
Oh,
answer. 14-year-old Warp Tour surprise, the best.
Oh,
That's
that's
sick.
I went
so
to
good.
13, like with my dad and stuff. I couldn't imagine being there like at that same like that fucking like that shaped who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What year was that?
I was born in 1988. 14 years after that, so 2002.
2002. So yeah,
Dropkick had the extra time. Pennywise was there. Transplants were there. Yeah, he was fucking sick.
Might be the same.
So
Yeah, I
dope.
think I did like 03, and it was like, you know what I mean, like the fucking.
I did the run of them after that, so I went to.
Yeah.
We definitely would have went to.
Definitely.
Good
Yeah.
crossover.
Oh, totally. What is, but always like Calgary or.
I always went to the Calgary one because I grew up.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Or whatever.
yeah.
Saw Melvin crash a mini bike on the because Calgary's isn't a speedway.
Oh hell
And
yeah!
so it's like a racetrack, and you're
Yeah.
in the center of it. And he was
Right.
driving a mini bike on the track, and he went up on the wall and wobbled and fucking jumped. Everyone was like, "Oh no, they haven't played yet."
That's so good.
Oh man, yeah, like life changing shit. I think that was like the first time I met Lars Ranson, and I didn't like from the videos and stuff like that. I did it when I was like so stoked to meet the guy, and then he just had that bat tattooed like under his fucking face. I was so little, just a little kid just looking up at this guy with this fucking thing, like holy shit, and the nicest fucking dude. I was like, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. Like that is
Yeah.
I went to one with green hands once because I was dyeing my friend Cole's hair in the hotel bathroom before, and we didn't have gloves, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And it just wouldn't come off. So I was like, I guess my hands are green. So it warped and it just sweated off by the end of the day. But like I thought it
Nice.
was pretty cool.
That's
Yeah,
The next
yeah,
level of
kinda
body
Hulk.
mod. I'm just
Yeah.
dyeing
Yeah.
my hands phone colors.
Like Hulk hands.
I'm doing it.
yeah.
I'm kind of angry.
Right on the verge.
I could go either way with this.
These fists are pissed, bro.
That's gonna be the shit. Do you think that this is NoFX's like actual last run? Because like I'm
I think
making like
so.
a lot of
I think so.
you know, I made the punk rock bowling decision. Gonna go for like 5 days with the friends and everything. I got that figured out. Like that's
That rules.
gonna happen. But now, yeah, it's like there's too much going on now for Tacoma. And it's like co-defendants doing Tacoma as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So like that's
It's, like-
really like exciting. There's like the new thing that's coming in, and then like the
Fucking
like
gonna be
the
good, man.
Is it at the
One of the
Tacoma
greatest.
Dome?
Maybe.
That would be
I'm
fucking
not-
I
sick,
don't
I'm
dude.
not sure. Will they do
That
like,
is
the
such
fucking
a
Dublin?
like. It's such a piece of shit venue. It's like it's garbage, but
Yeah.
it's so dope. Like it's just such a like.
Do they keep the
It's
dome
old.
on?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's like
sorry,
a
'cause, like, that's-
geodesic. It's like they've got like it looks like Science World. Essentially,
Yeah.
it's just
that
like
could
an
be fun.
old venue. Like it's just like and like you can only have monster trucks in your venue so many times before it starts really rooting with the
Is it
structure.
really- yeah, it starts really affecting the infrastructure.
You got Gravedigger ripping through there, you know,
Man,
and then it's really
we-
gonna affect those beams.
We just recently we were talking about monster trucks, and we're like, "Fuck! Like, be fun to go to a monster truck."
They were just here.
They were just here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were just here, yeah,
we
it's
like
a
the
bummer.
tickets were like a little bit too much for like a
It's fun. I
spur
went
of the
2 years
moment.
ago. It was cool.
Yeah.
It seemed like
They
it'd be
stopped
really fun.
forever because it was
Yeah.
so rowdy. Like I remember my
Yeah.
uncle taking me when I was a little kid, and he was like,
Wow.
"Oh, like he's from Edmonton." So like, he took me here, and we were like,
Yeah.
and he came out, and he like immediately as soon as we got in, he was like, "Oh, this was a horrible idea
We
to
got
bring you
fucked
here."
when we were
Right.
there last time. We were fucking annihilated.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
so there was so. I remember
awesome.
I
seeing
think
like
it'd be fun.
so
Oh, I
much.
wanna
Like
go
I was
so
like
bad.
8 years
Big.
old, just seeing fist fights after
Yeah.
fist
I'll
fights.
tell you what, if you guys come drinking at my house ever, the cups you will have are Gravedigger promotional
Sick.
cups
Oh,
with like
wow.
a glowing skull. 'Cause
Oh,
Em got
man.
fucking like blackout drunk.
Oh,
and
dude,
wow.
came back with 4 $25 snow cones in cups. $100 worth of snow cones for 2 of us.
Because we need 4 cups for the house.
Yeah, because we needed 4 cups for the house.
That's so
We
funny.
ate most of one and like dumped one out, and these kids behind us were like, "No!"
That's
bummed.
$25
So
snow
bummed.
cone. That's so fucking funny.
We were sticky the rest of the day.
Yeah, they were just here last weekend.
Monster
Yeah.
trucks,
Yeah,
like
the
the
PNE.
event sounds like they
Yeah.
kick ass, but I've been like kind of getting pumped, and like 'cause I know that in my future we're gonna make a trip to go see some monster trucks. So I've been like looking at what monster trucks are capable of doing now, and it's so much doper than when I was watching like a kid. Instead of like just like a long jump or like a backflip jump, they're like using tires in the jumps to like
The freestyle event is
force front
unparalleled
flips and
now.
backflips and
Wow.
shit.
there's progression
Yeah.
in all sport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when I was a kid, they would just go over like
They were just
5
The
cars
classic, yeah,
that
the
were like
classic.
already
running
smashed.
over
So it was
smaller
like it was
trucks,
literally
yeah.
just like really just coasting
He
over.
cleared an RV.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, just fucking yeah.
It's like watching blind video days
Backflips to
you
like
still wanna see.
nosies and shit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, yeah.
Yeah, now they got like a pit they got to go in and try to get
Oh,
out and
wow.
shit.
I
I
There's
like
a-
the
yeah.
auxiliary stuff
I-
at it. sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I like all the auxiliary things that happen at monster trucks. I've been a lot because I'm fucking white trash, I guess. But
Talk about it at an earplug event.
Yeah.
tell me about
Yeah.
it. The best thing that I've ever seen them do is they set up this crazy rail thing. Oops, sorry, microphone. And they would just drive shitty like a 92 Tercel at it. See how many times they can barrel roll this own bitch?
That's
so good.
Yeah, I think I could get into that.
It's always the car they use.
I had one of those things, and I had to get out on the Coquihalla to drive it from my dad's place to Kelowna, where I was living. And like after like 2 hours of driving in it, I had to get out of the thing and like stretch my legs. It's so fucking small. And if you're coming across like a mountain ridge or anything where like the wind is blowing, you could fucking feel yourself. Yeah, like moving.
Oh.
Did you guys ever go to demolition derbies?
Yeah,
Those
man.
were
That's
fucking
where
so
That's where I
good.
first found joy in life. You know what
So
I
they
mean?
would do the race first, right? And then it's like
Right.
whoever survived the race got in the derby to fuck shit up. And it was like
Oh, no.
dudes were like always backing in because they
Yep.
didn't want to fuck your engine up. It's
Yep.
like, oh, that's a great tactic. I was like, and then like I remember seeing one. This dude won like every single fucking thing that night with one car. It was
Wow.
so dope. I was like,
Oh,
dude, when you're like 6, you're like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Man.
Just spray painted numbers on fucking old
Fuck
shitty
yeah.
cars and then
That's the
smashing
greatest
into
thing.
each other.
There's a
I've
fucking
never seen
speedway in
that.
Vernon where it's like it's just like it's a shitty old speedway. You know what I mean? It's just got that fucking character to it. When you walk up to it, it's just like the happiest place in the world. And they'll do like figure 8 tracks and stuff like that, or hit to pass. They'll have
Yeah. Oh,
hit to pass
fuck
fucking
yeah, dude.
rules.
Yeah.
And especially if they're like they'll do trailer hit to pass, so everybody's towing something.
Yeah,
And
it's like
the
a Ben
fucking-
Hur situation.
100%. They'll just have like a camper trailer, or a guy's
Fuck
just
yeah.
towing a boat, and then the boat falls off, and now the boat's just a part of the fucking race.
Obstacle now.
It's a
Oh
fucking
my God.
greatest
This old
thing.
Bayliners just fucking scattered across the left
It's
turn.
the raddest shit in the world.
And like the school bus races too.
Yeah.
Those are always fucking good.
I've never seen any of this.
Oh, this
Oh.
is like pure white trash. This is the best. Yeah.
World of mayhem for you to explore.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really delightful.
It's the
This
greatest
may
thing.
be
It's
the
nothing-
next thing I get into after Survivor.
Well, listen, like you can't. It's either it's one or the other. You're going to
There used to
demolition
be a
derbies or
reality show
watch.
for it. That was filmed in Ontario because there's a bunch of just hicks with space out there.
Yeah.
And there was a big demolition derby circuit that they did a reality show for like 10 years ago. All
Oh.
Ontario stuff. There was like
We're
I gotta
in.
find
Team
that.
Sweet Leaf. Their thing was weed.
Oh, I gotta find that. That's the perfect avenue for me to get into.
Oh,
If there's a reality show for it, fucking, I'm on board.
Because it's any
Yeah.
reality shows like that. You just watch 2 episodes. You're like, I'm in. You pick a pony and you're
Yeah.
like, I'm good. Let's watch
Yeah.
this.
Well,
Yeah,
like Jackie's got
absolutely.
this thing where to make money, she'll like caption stuff on the internet, so people said like videos and stuff like that. So like Jackie that never came to a poker game with me in her life, doesn't dig the game or doesn't care to get into it, starts captioning poker games on the internet, and then now is fascinated with the
So
game.
good. Let's get back to the felt.
Yeah, she's saying lingo that I don't even know about. I've never said leave it on the felt, boys.
Yeah. Save it for the felt, fellas.
You're a real river rat.
And then
Donkey.
fishing too, as a vegan, it's wild that
Fishing,
you're watching
yeah.
like fucking like.
Fishing shows are
okay.
great.
I was gonna say my favorite reality show that only lasted a short little period. And apologies to vegans, it was a butchering show.
Dude,
wow.
fantastic.
That
Yes.
was
wow.
so good.
Lay it on him.
It was wonderful. There was a competition show where like you'd have to butcher one whole animal, and like they had like weird dudes with like real fancy mustaches be like, "This is not a good cut of meat."
Yeah.
And but then it'd be like
100%.
That's
Yeah.
all it is.
like skill challenges, like cut me exactly an inch and a half steak or whatever. And they made this one guy wear a glove because he's like a cool like hipster butcher, and he had like measurements tattooed on his hand.
yeah.
So we could
Oh
always
my
like see,
God.
like this gives him an unfair edge. So they made him wear a glove. And, oh my god!
I remember it was fantastic, and then like after, so the first one is just like first challenge would just be like a regular kind of side of beef or pork or whatever.
Yeah.
And then as you move
the
further into the
crazy fucking
competition, the animals get more and more.
Here's a
rare
possum.
and stuff. Yeah, dude, it's like there's a fucking alligator.
blowfish.
hanging, like right by its tail. There's a fucking full ass alligator, and they got to figure out like, oh shit.
And you can only use hand tools to do the first break.
Yeah. Whoa.
Did you guys ever watch
Dude,
that?
that
What was it
fucking
called?
show ruled.
Forged in Fire or whatever
Still
that.
do, my man.
Dude.
We
Dude.
have it.
My
Yeah,
God.
it's we have
Hashtag
about
not my
50,
Will. Bring back Will.
Bring back Will.
We have about
Thanks for
50
saying that.
episodes on our PVR right now.
There's so many episodes, and that's the thing about like Discovery Discovery Channel or History Channel or anything like that is I get so into it. Also, Moonshiners, one of my favorite shows on TV. Tim and
What's like
Nicholas,
the
shout
shit
out.
that they always
But-
make the body stuff out of? Like the
for-
Mythbusters would always use like the kind of plaster or whatever.
Oh,
they use.
that's
What's it
like,
called?
It's a ballistics gel.
Ballistics
right?
gel.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
love some
something that
ballistics
Doug
gel,
Marcaida-
dude.
When Doug
Dude.
Marcaida takes it to the ballistics gel,
Oh, you
then,
start
like,
cutting some
yeah, you can-
ballistics gel, dude.
It's one of the greatest.
Fucking-
But like every time that something's on the History Channel, I get like a new hobby. But I've never done that hobby. You know what I mean? Like
Totally,
Curse of
dude.
Oak Island. I'm a treasure hunter at heart, but I've never hunted for treasure. Like I've never been in a fucking forge in my lifetime. But if you give me a piece of 5160 spring steel right now, I'll bang you out a fucking
Get you a
knife.
kukri.
I'll
Get you a
easy.
kukri.
Dude, what do you want? Competition shopper? Fucking
Oh my
like,
god,
Drop
dude.
point buoy.
my man. Oh, dude, do you want to hang out on a Sunday and just waste the day?
Just do it, buddy.
I feel like
The reality
the
show
one
that
I-
made me want to do things the most. Another short-lived one was a joust. Do you remember the joust?
oh
I
yeah.
was,
That's
I was
a
like,
deep
man,
cut.
I could
Wow.
like take a fucking
Or,
joust. and,
or
like,
just
I
the
like
armor one. Just the dudes who would make the armor. Like that was all about that too. Like yeah, they would
Wow.
forge
They
all
did
that
the
metal.
live combat one for a little while.
Dude, that was brutal.
Weird
Just the
dudes
guy
getting lad
getting
with maces, just like
He's got a
It's
fucking
always the
gauntlet. He's
mace.
just punching the dude in the face and swinging
just
the
like
thing.
that's what it dissolves to, I suppose.
Yeah.
Just like chainmail meat face, and you're like, this is fucking
He
putting money on
just
this
put
shit.
his like metal hands in this guy's cage.
It was one of like they would show it like I mean for every commercial or whatever like you know the guy kind of like ran out of options or whatever. That's the thing like you know it'd be like the guy's like trying to do like a medieval version of like a hockey jersey situation or whatever. And this dude's just like
Can't pull over the
and just
chainmail.
starts fucking hockey fighting. This dude was awesome.
Oh
man.
my
It's
This guy trying to
God.
figure out his flail while the other guy just kicks him with a spiked boot.
Yeah.
Hits him with a stick. He's like,
The mace was good because like what the mace is on the chain though, right?
that's
I believe
like
that
that's a flail.
Okay, so the mace is just
mace
a
is just
stick
like a
with the fuck.
yeah.
That's the one that fucks
Yeah.
shit up all because like Buddy's
yeah.
helmet
Yeah,
just gets dented in.
So
You can't even
it's
take
released
it
enough
off
to
after.
break on like a stick. It's been like the oldest weapon.
Yeah. yeah.
Just a heavy thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I mean, if you're a Lord of Rings fan, like when that thing comes out and what's her name has to, you know what I mean, fucking save the king, like
Yep.
that fantastic, like you know, so it can't be beaten with a woman's drive and determination,
Exactly. Yeah.
according to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Mountains.
Yeah.
Nice, nailed it. Women's History Month.
There we go.
Like how you held up your beer as if it's sponsored by Old Milwaukee. That's
Putting
women's
yeah,
month.
Scantily clad women on their beer heads.
Yeah.
Just pin up girls all over the box.
They're great, actually. Like I used to, I used to have favorites and stuff like that. But we don't need to talk about the ladies of the past. Not when I'm with my girl. Not when I'm with my
Such
gal.
a romantic.
Yeah.
We'll talk about all the
really
cartoon girls that
sweeps
that we
me
used to
off
wanna
my
bang.
feet.
That's the thing. So you got the tours coming up. You guys are hitting the road.
Yes.
You guys are like in
yeah.
Cologne like right before us, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a bummer. You
Yeah,
guys are
Yeah.
there the week
you
before.
guys are there right before, and Die Drop's there
yeah.
right after us.
We're
Ah.
sandwiching.
Yeah.
It's a kind of cool sandwich on
That
there.
Yeah.
It's a, it's a sandwich on the town.
Yeah, anybody that shows up to our show with a Fomite shirt gets their
Stickers.
dick cut off and
Get
gets
stickers.
stickers.
And we have
Okay.
a lot of posters from our road
previous
trip
two,
last
yeah, we
year.
do.
Bringing old posters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
get
I mean,
old
we
posters
got,
from
we
last-
got a
And
lot.
shirts.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
shirts. There are some shirts left.
Not a
yeah.
lot of merch sold at a comedy show. You know what I mean? You're just trying to hit the road. Nah,
It's
nah.
yeah. It's
Maybe not at our level.
You
I
feel
guess. I guess we should probably be better at comedy than about our show.
You always
Yeah,
hear
it's-
about the merch on on other podcasts or whatever. They're like, oh, I went to the merch table and shit. But
Yeah,
not
they're just.
not at our shows.
Not at our-
You
we
feel,
definitely overshot that one a little
it's a
bit.
pretty special feeling when you do a show and you like set up a merch table and you're like standing at the table afterwards
Oh,
and everyone's
yeah.
like,
yeah, everybody's just walking past
Yeah.
us. You know,
That.
yeah.
a lot of that.
A lot of that. I don't know. You guys got merch that actually does rule.
Oh,
People
thanks,
like listen to
man.
the band and buy a fucking record for fuck's sakes because
Yeah.
I mean, beautiful. you
It's
guys got
beautiful. It's fucking
Yeah.
so
the
nice
fantastic
looking.
art.
Yeah.
Cool things. You guys are taking it to the.
And it
yeah,
sounds
to the right place.
unfuckable
Yeah.
viewable too.
Yeah.
Was there what's in the future for the Fomites? I've heard that there's new songs in the works. and-
Yeah. There's gonna be a new album eventually. Like you said, the tour. Big thing is encourage everyone in the Greater Vancouver area. April 13th. It's a Thursday, I know, but come be cool on a Thursday. Come out to Black Lab, Ask a Punk, find out where it
Ooh,
is.
Black
Yeah.
Lab.
That's the album
back in the
kickoff. That's
mix.
the one we really want to bang the drum for.
right.
My band would kill me if I didn't fucking really hit the.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
one
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
there
All
we
of that.
go. We'll
April
put it-
13th, Black Lab, come see us. But yeah, there's a bunch of new music, a bunch of the stuff's in the set. So if you come see us tonight at Bullies,
Hey, yo.
There you go.
a great place to see great music. We have a bunch of the new stuff that's not recorded in the set, and it's pretty good.
Nice.
Nice.
We actually have a secret trilogy of songs. 3 of our songs are a secret horror trilogy, and we just wrote the 3rd one.
That's
Really?
cool.
And it's in the set, so
Right on.
That's very exciting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
Love that.
Does 5x5 exist in that trilogy?
No.
Oh, damn.
That's
'cause
about
I
aliens.
love
Yeah.
that. I know, but, but that's also a trilogy.
It's not in the
Yeah.
public domain yet. We can't write our own trilogies about it.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, no, you guys have a lot of songs that that are just like coming into like daily rotation or whatever, and the fact that you guys are also just like good dudes. Like I said, I ran into Dahmer or whatever. Jesse's the nicest motherfucker with
Yeah.
cool
Good
makeup
guy.
on and stuff like that. So
crazy,
it's
yeah.
cool that
I'm
cool
the
people that you
scumbag.
know.
We've rolled it out. You mentioned the other
I
two
don't
guys.
think so,
Yeah.
man.
I'm
We
the
just hit you for the
scumbag.
last hour. You're
No,
fucking
no.
dope as shit.
Yeah,
man.
just on a
Yeah.
level of
Yeah.
class and stuff like that. You you operate with a humble sense of humility, knowing that there's a dirtbag past and we're moving forward.
Yeah.
And we're kindred spirits in that way, my friend. If you
Yeah.
want to go rob somebody for drugs, then we can go and do that.
There we go.
Or
I'll keep 6.
we can go.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean. We could just we could keep providing joy. We could find love in a hopeless place.
There we go.
Oh, that's nice.
Aw.
That's sweet.
Aw.
Aw.
Sweet as hell.
Way to land that plane, Johnny.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Should we end on that? That was sincere. Else I
Yeah,
could
yeah,
just go
that
down
was
the
really
rabbit
good.
hole. I can
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll
So
end on
fucking
that, I
say
think.
chicken
Yeah.
time.
All right.
All right.